And once again, we are back. This is Seth Gasposa, Black Earth Productions, Blue Fame, Healing Arts, Occult Science. And today with the segment, speaking with the current students. So James, again, this is an open floor. Anything you'd like to get into? How's things going on your end?
I've been going through a lot of changes recently. Experiencing a lot with the gates. So I'm seeing it in a positive way. Fucking will to be in this position in my life. Start striving for a better place. I don't want to fucking live in California really anymore. So especially with all this fucking socialist shit going down in our country, I can't stand it, dude.
Right, nah, I feel you, man. It's some propaganda, and yeah, a lot of people's attitudes are shifting into the wrong fucking direction. I definitely feel you, man.
It's a hell of a time to be living in right now, man.
Right. One of the best and the worst, man. We're at the procession, man. So again, everything's rising to the surface. Any issues that have not been dealt with are pretty much in people's faces, and it's been quite the ride this entire last year leading up to the present moment.
Right,
and,
dude.
And ego, that's the whole discrepancy, and then comes the inner dialogue and all the confusion that you're filtering through.
Yeah, it's intense sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've been still studying, though, the Northern Soul Complex.
Mm-hmm.
I just take it piece by piece. I listen to it, write down my notes, and so far, man, I got into the hide and the atham, and I just got done with the fetch. But the atham, it is the breath of life, frequently visualized as a cord between the hide and the body. This connection serves as an animating force of the physical body itself. And if it was to be severed, the hide would be left adrift and would likely dissipate and leaving the body a lifeless husk. It's between the in-breath and the out-breath where the higher force is present. It is also why doing breathing exercises such as Qigong will strengthen the atham. I'm not really familiar with Qigong, man. I've been wanting to get into that now that I've been reading about this.
Okay. Definitely check out Michael William Denny's channel, man. He does Celestial Qigong.
All right. Yeah, I've been recently getting his books on the runes, man, and just reading those. Yeah, real familiar with the runes and stuff. I've been real studying those too, man.
Yeah, Qigong, the breath work, basically, in training yourself how to move energy in terms of breath. I'm a Qigong practitioner. I can do it mentally. I can just do it with mind. But doing breath work and then centralizing the energy in certain areas, man, you can do a lot of healing.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And you can throw energy and all this kind of stuff. And there's a lot of bullshit out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the same as actually fighting someone hand-to-hand combat. Qi can be utilized, but you're not going to stop an MMA fighter against some Qigong practitioner, man. It don't work like that.
Yeah.
But it can be used for healing. It can be used for a lot of different things, and that's mainly what it's for, is healing and routing out poisons. And I've had some shit go down with my left leg, man. And I've for the last 3 or 4 days, man, I've been having to do the same to route out this shit that fucking hit me, man.
Yeah, man, I fucking had this hardcore anxiety shit go down. I had to come in here and just sit in a circle for damn near almost 2 hours, dude, for it finally went away. And
that's the fucking thing. It's happening all across the board, James.
Right.
I feel it in the field. It's not speculation.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of people out there that are dealing with stuff. Now's the time to double down, triple down, recognizing the difference, man. Because in terms of the procession and where we're at, it's all of this unwarranted shit that is working to be amplified. And then you've got the technology factor, 5G.
Yeah, dude.
That's something that's a serious issue.
Yeah, dude, big time.
These frequency waves that I can feel them.
Fucks with our thoughts and our emotions big time, huh?
Right.
Put one of those things over by my work, man. It's
Did you notice the difference with the people around you since that?
Yeah, my supervisor, dude, he's gotten all tyrannical and shit, man. I've just seen a huge change. Yeah, all kinds of crazy shit since all that went down.
Yeah.
Everybody's on fucking edge and shit.
You're right. It's a factor, man. Driving around town here, I noticed towers that they put up on certain posts. I know it's having an effect on things. The frequencies around here have changed. Designed to pull things into that lower state of mind where you're just ultra irritable, old stupid shit you wouldn't even normally be thinking about. Where the fuck is this shit coming from, right? If you go to mention something or talk about it to someone, they look at you like, what are you talking about? Can you not notice how you're fucking acting, how you're fucking being.
Yeah, yep.
It's all these different trigger points. They want people triggered and at each other's throats over stupid shit, man. You know?
Yep. Me and my best friend, so he's like saying all this jacked up shit, and I'm like looking at him like, what the hell's going on with you? You're not acting yourself. And how I'm fucking getting myself in alignment here, because usually I would just nut the fuck up back and get all triggered out. And I looked at him, and I forgave him and I let it go, and we're like brothers. He fucking had some trip on me, man, in front of all these families. What the fuck is this coming from? Yeah, it's weird, dude. Like, why? I tried everything in my fucking best to not fight the guy. Mm-hmm. Like you're saying, man, when you get there, it's like you become a fucking feeding trough, you know?
That's also another factor, these spirits, they feed on that contention, man,
Yep.
When we're ripping and tearing each other to pieces, man. It's immature as fuck because people don't know how to regulate or navigate their thought and emotion, man. And so when stuff's kicking out like that, man, you got to see it for what it is, man. And because most people, again, they're not doing the work to recognize the difference when certain things come up, cleansing, right, and purging and healing and doing this sort of thing. It's ruling them on an unconscious level, man. Throw some circumstances into that mix and, just life experience in general. And this is why accountability is so important, especially in terms of friendships and connections and especially partnership.
Right, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because without that, then this is just going to continue to play itself the fuck out. And then we wonder why the world is the way that it is. We're meant to be fucking evolving. And in terms of the procession and the timeline trajectory, man, it's a fucking choice what we are going to decide. And I don't know if everyone's going to make it on the other side of the fucking equation. I'm looking at certain things, just throwing my hands up to the universe going, this is bullshit. Mm-hmm. We should be further along than this. That's my attitude anyway. Cutting through the fucking bullshit. None of that stuff is serving things here in context, man. And then the disconnect in terms of social distancing and all this other fucking propaganda bullshit.
It's fucking dark sorcery on its fucking highest level.
I know it is, man, and I fucking warned about it. I don't know what else to say.
Right.
You can see it clearly.
Yeah, dude. Very clear.
So I'm not just talking out my fucking ass in terms of your testimony to that in context verifies what I'm saying here. And if people can't hear that, if people can't recognize that, then they're under the fucking spell cast.
Yep.
They're going to have to be the ones to fucking recognize it and fucking break it and have that aha moment and go, well, shit, I was wrong.
They don't even want to fucking admit that. I remember when I went through that myself, dude. I thought I knew, what the gods were, and I came across your content, and it's just like way deeper than what I'm into, and it makes so much more fucking sense. I still felt restricted in like this religious concept, and
right.
That opened my mind to so much things. Seriously, I mean, you were even right, dude, about the Saqqara Egypt. I know that they didn't show us all in this fucking new documentary they just released about Saqqara Egypt. They fucking found a priest in Saqqara Egypt. Yeah. They don't know who the fuck he is, man. And I'm like, they found like his whole family buried inside the bottom of this fucking tomb. And, they keep showing all the old super like first dynasty fucking pyramids there, man. And they're like, it is so fucking true, dude. It looks like a wormhole, like you said, got opened up there, dude. And some crazy fucking shit went down. Dude, everything looks like it got blown the fuck up.
And see, check it out, James. I have to let you know, that came to me in terms of memory. And I even said in the Jedi Codes of the manga that there would be evidence coming forth proving what I'm saying.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
It happened with Brian Forrester. He's an archaeologist. He's got evidence of things being scorched. And now you're saying they just came out with a documentary.
Yeah, man. And they're really, really strict on who the hell is being involved in that, too, over there. The entire crew's Egyptian. It's really intense. Like, so they're like keeping it really to themselves, man. And I know that that's not at all they found there, man. And they discovered that in the beginning of 2020. So I can imagine what the fuck they found there and by now.
Right.
It's got me questioning big time.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
It's a trip. It's confirmed a lot about what you've talked about,
Mm-hmm. That's encouraging to hear because that just solidifies what I've been saying, man. So I know I haven't been wrong. That's not an arrogant statement. I'm not putting forth content for no reason, man.
It's a trip, dude. When you said all that, like I could see it going down, the whole fucking thing, the wars between the cults and all that stuff that were going down in Egypt. And
it's triangulation, man. Like I said, in terms of that, which is why I share what I share for people to consider. I don't want anyone to just take my word for anything, man. But I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I know how this shit works. And I know when it's kicking out with other people. That's when you got to call it out for what it is, man. And also recognizing the fact that, you know, we're moving through a lot of stuff and people are going to have their process. At the same time, never allow yourself to deter. I think that's a major test for a lot of people. Are we going to make it through these times? We have to. You have to. You have no fucking choice otherwise.
Yep.
Okay, so what else would you like to get into now?
I had a question about Yggdrasil. I noticed there's like Niflheim, you know, Jotunheim. Heim represents realm, right? And I was wondering, how come Midgard and Asgard don't have Heim as the back of their names? Are they a realm?
Yeah, they are, but it's the guard.
Right.
Like Asgard is surrounded by this wall, you know, and so it's Midgard. That in context where, you know, certain things are contained and not anything can just come in. Midgard, Asgard, it's because of the fortress of the wall. It's meant for protection.
Right.
Not like fucking some kind of Jericho scenario where nothing gets in or nothing gets out. It's just sort of a ward. Your last name. I'm gonna ward off this fucking bullshit. You know? That's the whole concept.
Makes a lot more sense. I also was reading about people of Amali or whatever, the Goths, how they descended from like India, from the realm of Aljum, created this empire, and the first ones to attack the fucking Romans when they showed up. Like how you and Thunder Wizard were talking about relating with the Vedic and the Norse, you know? And it was just a trip, like maybe like just how those people evolved from that time period into now. The best way I could describe it is like the transformation of Indra and Thor, like how they relate, and Odin and all the other gods of wisdom in that area.
There's a connection between the Nordic tradition and Vedas.
I'm interested.
See, going back even further, man, you got to recognize, like I've said, and even other people that know this, at one time, we all sat at table, man, every race, tribe, and culture, man. And all of these arts and sciences were essentially connected in terms of the universal laws of metaphysics and the eternal axioms and how things actually work. Going back to the foundation, this is why I work to assist laying the proper foundation. So anything else that people look into, they can navigate it correctly and they're not going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole and not seeing how certain things are connected, right?
Yeah, man.
Beyond everything, though, beyond everything, again, connection to the higher force, man.
Yep.
That's the true guide that's there within the hardcore mission.
Yeah, dude.
Seeing everything for what it is from a place of wisdom, proper knowledge. This, again, is what originally seeded the reality on a multidimensional level, man. It just is. This, unfortunately, is what we've been cut off from. So you only reach a certain level of capacity.
Just the whole process of that, like just going into being triggered out over all the shit that's going down. It's like you just got to meditate on it, like the samurais. They didn't sit there and get freaked out over, you know, the enemy's coming, the enemy's coming. They just sat there and they fucking meditated. When those fuckers showed up, it was absolute wrath. Fucking unleashed the sword. That's what I told my dad. I'm like, we can't get triggered out to the point where we're sitting here thinking about violence and all this other crazy shit that's going to make us hate each other and lash out at the people that don't even know what's going on.
Right. All right, James, I'm going to go ahead and pull this into a break. This is Seth Gizboza, Blue Flame Healing Arts and Occult Science. We'll be right back. Getting out from the break. This is Saqqara's Bozo, Blackearth Productions, Blue Flame, Healing Arts and Cult Science. You're speaking with James, current student, as we are touching upon some things I feel are good to share public.
It's crazy, dude, how deep it goes, man. It's the control. But I ran into my neighbor the other day, dude. He's into the same we're into, and you were telling me connections are gonna start. New segment you came out with. I connected with him, and he was even saying that, you know, you can't let yourself get triggered out by what the fuck's going on because you give it power, man. You know, you can't sit there and focus on all the shit. And it made me remember, like what you're saying, like the first veil. I've been stuck in that for a minute now. It's coming forth and it's being shown before my eyes, man. And like, what the fuck's really going on with me and what I need to fix and work on.
Don't go into that self-beratement and, you know, cutting yourself down and, you know, seeing yourself as less than, man. Just because you're dealing with something does not mean that it defines the fullness of your character. What do you choose? What are you deciding? So it's recognizing the difference.
It's crazy how, like, over the time since I've gotten into this, man, when I first started, it was all so confusing. And it's over the time period, it's like, it's giving me just, that's what that meant. Whoa, I understand now. Like, you know, I got a piece of that now. Like, I remember listening to some of the things you were saying. It's like, I couldn't understand them. The drive in me was like, no, you got to learn this shit. Show you what you need to know, you know, what you've been looking for your whole life, man. And it's like, I just went with it. It's been working fucking great for me, man. Honestly, you know, I don't know where the fuck I'd be, honestly, if I didn't run into your school, dude. I was on a bad road where I was headed, and just wanted to thank you for that big time.
Sure.
I remember hearing you, Rodney Goodwin was saying it about the Black Knights, you know, we need to be the Black Knights. I remember when I was going through my anxiety, I remember I vented to you about it, and then I was like, no, that's cool, you vented to him about it, but you need to back yourself up and get your own shit together. You don't need any to say.
You got to reach out, reach the fuck out. It doesn't change the fact that you're going to have to deal with whatever you're dealing with. You just don't want to get into that puke of spewing that shit onto other fucking people.
Right.
Speak to people that know the fucking difference and that can hold you accountable. You can do this.
Right.
And speaking words of life and encouragement and empowerment, this is what is fucking necessary, especially now. Yeah. Unto ourselves, unto others.
Right.
And not falling into that black hole fucking state of mind fucking bullshit where you're getting sucked into the fucking void, man. Yeah. That does not serve us. That does not serve humanity. That does not serve any sort of progression whatsoever.
Yeah.
Hell, man, I need some fucking encouragement from time to time. Fucking for real. We all do. Imagine if people chose to be like this. It would be completely different.
The whole fucking world would be, man.
Instead of spewing their fucking shit, pointing the finger and playing the fucking blame game.
There wouldn't be.
This is what I'm getting at. It's not that hard. It's a choice that you fucking make, despite what you think or feel or assume, because there's also a lot of assumptions that come into play as well when people miscalculate the intentions of those around them and what they are working to basically filter their experience in terms of how they react and respond. It's all tied to all this other fucking shit that's not serving them.
Wow.
On a fucking trigger, and then, you know, it's just a big giant fucking trigger fest, man. Where's the truth in that? Where's the wisdom in that? There is none. And people have to have an outlet for catharsis, because if you don't and you stuff that shit the fuck down.
Right.
Now, in terms of the new energies that have been coming in since solstice, it's routing all this stuff up. So recognize it for what it is.
It's been difficult for me for a little bit. I feel like now I'm starting to really, last like half a year now, I'm really starting to, like, you know, pushing myself to get up an extra hour early so I can do good on myself. You know, I just force myself to break it. I'm like, I got to get the fuck out. Just, you know, do something creative on myself, you know what I mean? And I believe that's what the higher force has been pushing me to do, is get out in my garage and work on my art and connect to my creative side, dude. I remembered the first talk that we had, my astrology, how I think my Saturn's in Pisces, and the creative energy in me has been pretty much challenged, or whatever. The spiritual or creative side of me has been challenged, and it's like, I got to get that working for me, you know? So I've been really working on that, you know, just tapping into that energy and feel like, you know, so much more of a better person when I make something. I create something out of my own mind. It makes me feel good. It's like you're saying, a catharsis, you know, and it makes me feel shitty if I don't get in here, meditate, you know, do my work, you know, study your school, and it makes me feel all weird throughout the day. I'm like, fuck, I don't feel like myself. Because I've like got myself on this rhythm of doing it every day. When I break, I can feel like all the shit around me just start caving in on me. Like fucking energy of the world starts fucking with me. You know, you didn't draw the circle this morning. you know?
Daily, man. And see, I don't do it every day, and I notice when I don't.
Right.
Because the deeper you go and the more aware you become, the more the contrast will increase.
Right.
It's things in context of vibration correspondence, and as long as it depends on you, be good to other people, but recognize the fact that other people are going to react and respond the way that they do, and you are not in control of that.
Fuck.
You can set forth intention to be in alignment, but you got to recognize the fact that not everyone is necessarily going to take that the right way.
Right.
And this is the whole discrepancy in the fucking reality field. And this is how unaware people are of themselves. They can only ever recognize how others are being, but they can't recognize how they are being in a particular situation. If you can own that, you're in alignment.
Yeah, and I've recently been catching myself doing that, man. I can be really hard on the people around me, like you're saying, like a fucking iceberg, you know?
Sure.
I just see shit for the way it is. That Aries kicks in, dude, and I just become very, just like, fuck you. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, you didn't have to say it like that. And I'm just like, fuck. You know what I mean?
Well, right. You didn't have to say it like that.
You just confirmed a lot big time, man.
You got to check yourself.
Yeah.
Everybody has to check themselves.
Right. Yep.
If everybody did that, and we held ourselves accountable in terms of our attitudes and whatever the fuck on. Listen, man, I get it, man. You're going through stuff. Everybody's going through stuff.
Yeah, bro.
And I experienced this back in the day in terms of group dynamics. One example is we would do these meetings. As soon as we all got in the fucking van to leave or whatever, everybody would be at each other's fucking throats. Why is that? Spiritual warfare is a real fucking factor.
Yes, it is, dude.
And projections, and again, this contention, the energy of contention, that does not serve anything. You can call contention out for what the fuck it is. If you're pissed off or you're angry about something, it's okay to express yourself, but it's not okay to fucking rip and tear someone to fucking shreds because you feel entitled to do so. Same situation with work on your end.
Yeah. Be like fucking calm and collective about it. I can't sit there and deal with somebody who's so jacked up themselves they want to make everybody else miserable at work. I always just learned to brush it off from him, and I got tempted, you know, people that don't even work for our company sitting there telling me like, dude, this dude's treating me like shit. Like, but it's weird. Like ever since those 5G towers came in, man, he's been like more radical than usual, dude.
Right.
Fucking
right. And with that shit, they sent out a fucking signal to hit the entire fucking earth, man.
fuck.
I fucking warned.
What the fuck do you think it's connected to?
The energy of antagonism, the antagonistic core.
Right. That's what they fucking like worship, huh? These fucking dark fuckers.
Yeah, I absolutely despise it. It's to recognize again that not everything that we're feeling and picking up on is us.
Yeah.
This is why having spiritual discernment, especially in terms of situations like this, is absolutely necessary now. Because who we are at the core, in terms of that ignition and our connection to grid works of consciousness that are beyond this, is not that. It's not who the fuck we really are. And seeing it for what it is and cutting through the mist, so to speak, is absolutely necessary here. Because if we are going to evolve and we're going to continue to expand our capacity, we have to see it for what it is. We always choose from moment to moment how we are being. This is what it means to take responsibility for who the fuck we are at any given fucking moment. Are we going to be perfect? No, we're not going to be perfect. Because, again, everyone's dealing with stuff. This is just life. But having the wisdom and proper knowledge to know the difference and recognizing when certain things are kicking out,
yeah, man.
that whatever it is, that does not define the fullness of that individual's character. If they are willing to be held accountable. If they're not willing to be held accountable, what's the equation? And this is why connection and relationships are so fucking important, man. Because we all have different filters.
Yeah.
I tend to not be filtered and I just say it like it is.
Yeah, that's
I have no issue with that, but other people do. Why? Because they're hypersensitive to a lot of different things, falling into self-doubt, insecurity, low self-worth, victim mentality, all this different kind of stuff. And this is why I'm saying that speaking words of life and encouragement and empowerment are more important than anything else, despite what the fuck you're dealing with.
Right.
And imagine an environment where everyone was like that. And it wasn't an environment where we just get to project all our shit onto other people around us, man. But that happens anyways, especially in terms of intimate partnerships, close friendships, because it's meant to be routed the fuck out. It's like, look, I don't like how you're being right now. This is bullshit. And you call it out. You don't sit there and berate the person. It's an opportunity to cut them down and rip and tear them to fucking shreds because of whatever the fuck you're dealing with.
Yeah, dude.
Because from there, it just becomes a trigger fest. And there's no wisdom. There's no proper knowledge. The truth isn't even fucking present.
It's like you guys at that point aren't even getting through anything. It's just fucking your egos fighting each other.
Right.
There's no wisdom. Yeah, like you said, there's no wisdom there. Yeah,
what else would you like to get into now?
Do you think it would be right, for instance, you know, I got my fucking family on my end, cousins of mine. So they just want to continue to be toxic as all fuck, man. And like I can feel their energy so bad, dude, when they come into my house and just the way they talk, because they're just too messed up right now in this part in their life. Would you think that's the same kind of thing that, you know, what we were just talking about, just fucking going a little too overboard, and or it's just, you know, that would be necessary, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just asking for advice.
Like I said, if people aren't willing to be held accountable, they don't acknowledge how they are being.
Right.
When, say, you as an individual, you're working to move through things, owning your shit, holding yourself accountable. Okay, I'm willing to change. I'm willing to evolve. I'm willing to grow.
Yeah, dude, damn right.
And they're not. I don't know what else to fucking say.
It's hard to be around individuals that are on that vibration. You know what I mean? They're on that frequency of just fuck it. And I'm over here like, no, it's not. That's not how our attitude should be. Like,
right.
You know, we gotta make a fucking difference. It's hard to be around someone who just wants to stay in that fucking mindset because it just triggers me out. I'm just like, I don't want to call them out on their shit. And then when I do, it's like I said, it's harsh sometimes.
It's compassion.
Right.
It's compassion. And we need to develop our capacity for compassion in terms of that. You're not being a fucking dick by calling someone out on their shit. You do so because you give a fuck.
Right, dude. That's fucking literally how I feel.
People that are really close in friendships, we call each other out on our shit. Why? Because we do give a fuck. If I didn't give a fuck, I wouldn't say anything, and I just, you know, man, that's not how it's supposed to be. Recognizing the fucking difference, man, and seeing it for what it is, because we're all dealing with shit. Okay, you're talking about, you know, these people in your family, and okay, what are they going to choose? Are they going to allow that to define them? Whatever quote unquote childhood stuff happened, look, we got to grow the fuck up. And I'm not saying that certain things aren't valid in terms, but it's to see it for what the fuck it is and recognize the patterning and the fact that we are the only ones that can change that, knowing the fucking difference, man. And if you can see it and you can change it, then you are no longer bound to that patterning. And again, it's not easy necessarily, but if you can say it and acknowledge it and recognize it, you can change it.
Damn right, man.
You know, and at that point, it doesn't matter what you think or feel, it's what you choose, especially in terms of your attitude. People got a shitty attitude or a shitty outlook, and that's what they're filtering things through. What do you think the outcome is going to be? And this is what I don't like in context, because look, I can be really intense, I can get really fucking passionate, and then people, in terms of how they react and respond, take that as me being, you know, taking my anger out on them. I'm like, you have no idea what you're even fucking saying.
I feel the exact same way about straight up, bro. You're fucking an angry person. No, I'm not. Just get passionate about our conversation.
Right.
So right. I guess just because they're sensitive to that energy, man. I don't know. I guess
you're not in control of how people react and respond. But we shouldn't have to walk on eggshells.
Right.
We should be able to be ourselves fully accepting ourselves and fully accepting other people, recognizing the difference. This is where wisdom comes into play. And if people don't know thyself and they don't know these arts and sciences and they don't understand why they're being the way that they're being or why other people are being the way that they're being, that's where all the confusion comes into play. Because here's the fucking thing, man, in terms of solipsism. And people don't realize that they act like this, man. If others around them aren't like them, then there's something wrong with them. It's bullshit.
Yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Yeah.
We truly are as our gift to the world, whether people accept it or not. Can you accept yourself for who you are and own it? Own your shit. Own who you are, the better qualities, and allow those to exemplify themselves. Yeah. Have a sense of honor and dignity and respect, and don't allow other people to diminish you, especially yourself. Right. Pay attention to the inner dialogue. Again, in training ourselves how to think things on purpose and feel into things on purpose with focused intention. Seeing all that other bullshit for what the fuck it is, man.
Fuck yeah, dude. I feel that big time.
Because right now, James, The whole entire earth is going through a massive cleansing purge. But again, this is where we develop our sense of compassion for ourselves and other fucking people. Of course, having healthy boundaries, recognizing the fucking difference, man. And going unto yourself and, routing out whatever detritus is there with you so that whatever forces of contention are trying to find so that it just turns into a fucking trigger fest. You don't play into that.
Damn right, man.
Stand your ground, and you're not going to take the projections of other fucking people personally. You're going to see it for what the fuck it is.
It's a trip, man. I've recognized what you're talking about, dude. I did it. My buddy lost it on me. I just didn't take anything that he said to me personal. I was just tripping more on, like, what the fuck's going on in your head to make you act this way? Now that you're saying that, that confirmed a lot. I'm going to pay attention to that a hell of a lot fucking more now. I can get in arguments, we get in little debates, as brothers do, but yeah, that's a good way to fucking understand it, man. I'm going to step back on that big time, look at it.
Some other things to address here in terms of what could be the cause point for certain things. You got to understand something about psychosomatics. Everyone has an etheric body, which goes back to our mental and emotional bodies, our capacity, implants in terms of distortions that are keying certain portions of the mental and emotional bodies into gridworks of consciousness that are designed to siphon life force energy and amplify whatever underpinning issues may be there in terms of traumas, in terms of things that may not even be known to the individual. So when I get into the alchemical rites of initiation, the blue flame healing arts specifically, again, there's no bypassing the first stage. We all want to get to the whitening. We all want to get to the reddening, where things are solidified. The whitening is that ignition of the phoenix rising up out of the ashes, right? The diamond heart, which has been achieved by certain individuals. See, again, this is everything that people are working to avoid at all costs. Why? Because we don't want to face our pain. Again, all you have to do is go back to my focus and perception videos put out years ago now. It all goes back to that. And at the time, I was working as a professional in Southern California. Again, had to leave that in terms of what I really wanted to pursue in context to the platform, the mystery school, as well as a lot of other things that I do hope to see developed in my life and the life of those that I know. It's all connected. It's all intertwined. And if we're going to reach the next levels, again, it's just to recognize it for what it is. These etheric implants are a fucking issue. And one of the things that can happen, you can go to the doctor and they won't even be able to pick up on certain things with their CAT scans, with their x-rays, with their ultrasounds, with their MRI machines, and all these different things. Why? Because modern medicine is not the same as Magi Grill shaman shit. And again, having spiritual discernment, there are individuals out there that have the gift, including myself. And we that know these things take on a lot. So again, it's about recognizing the difference, knowing how to extract these etheric implants, which can go to first strike the roots in terms of the nervous system to cause deregulation. And here's another factor. If you have things that you have stuffed down or things that have been blocked, and we all deal with it, and this is why catharsis is necessary. Because if you stuff it down and stuff it down and stuff it down, and it's been years of this shit. One of the things I send out to students with the follow-up material is the concept of bioenergetics. Some things that Elliot Hustle put out that I think are fucking brilliant. Because you got to get the energies moving. If you don't get the energies moving, things fall into entropy, stagnation, and chaos. But you got to get it moving in the right way. You got to get it moving in the right direction. You got to break up that fallow ground, especially in terms of the eclipsed soul spark. What is the condition of our hearts? What is the condition of how we are processing? And if you do it right and you allow the ignition to take you, it's going to route everything out. And what have I said about this? And what have I said about the phoenix? The phoenix goes forth with a scream. When Odin spied the runes, he went forth with a scream. And not a scream to tear down, not a scream to berate, not a scream to project, but a scream to release and allow the flow of energies to route out everything that's there within the etheric body that does not belong to the integration point back into the original template and the true core essence. That is where it happens. And now, since we're coming out of Mercury retrograde, moving through the shadow period, it's going to be the release. So all the things that were being burned in terms of that specific transit are now going to be let go. And capacity for communication is going to be in a place of evolving even more. Take it back to the inner dialogue, right? All of these things. They can manifest into sickness, disease, ailments, all this different kind of fucking shit. And sometimes it can track lifetimes. It just depends. But at the same time, the techniques are the same no matter what the situation is. And I've definitely had to go into past lives myself, including this one, and route this shit the fuck out. And in terms of the procession, like I've stated, it has been rapid fire. So a lot of individuals, yes, they have been unto themselves during this time, because all of these things that are being routed out are revealing everything that we are not, so that who we truly are can come forward in the way that it's meant to, so that we can cross this threshold, so that we can enter into the gate. And it's the gates of wisdom that we must enter into. And that's what's coming here.
You know, sometimes I can fucking be that kind of individual where I'm like like I said, I lash out at a fucking person.
Look, we all can. This is life, man. As long as you recognize it.
Yeah, and I'm that kind of person too, man. I'll come right to you and tell you that. I lost it on all this socialist shit that's going down. I fucking blew up.
That's fine. That's fucking necessary. You know, pick your fucking battles.
Right, dude.
You don't want to be expending energy in terms of focus on things that shouldn't be focused on or energy put into. And in terms of that, yeah, look, I'll be honest with you. It's been present even since before we fucking incarnated. It's just the awareness of what the fuck is happening in terms of things happening around us that more and more people are waking up to, man. It's not anything that hasn't already been implemented. It's not like Ukraine was back in World War II and shit. But at the same time, the state of mind of a lot of people, man, it's just pulling them into these, you know, constructs where they don't want to take responsibility.
Yeah, it's sad, man.
I even had a band member back in the day that was down with the whole idea, and I got in fucking arguments with the guy. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? And I broke it down. Again, like I've stated, it's all about our state of mind. What is our state of mind really? And what is it based upon? Is it truth? Is it expansion? Is it unity, consciousness? Or is it all of this divide and conquer fucking bullshit where everybody's out for themselves?
Yeah, dude. Fuck.
And I don't give a fuck about anybody else except myself. And that's bullshit.
Yeah, man.
That's exactly where these pieces of shit want us.
We're easily controlled that way.
Exactly. Easily controlled that way.
It's the kind of same concept. It's like they divided us to that extent. And it's like, I feel like at one point humanity was like that. We were fucking unified. And some shit came along and fucked it all up. You know, we got to fix that with us, right? It's inside of ourselves. Then it comes with, like you're saying, as within, as without. If I do good unto myself, hopefully I'll inspire the people around me to do good unto them. And we can just like fuck off all that bad shit that's fucking around us, you know?
Right. You know, and you might get something in between. And then on the other end of the equation, there's going to be people that you really, really piss the fuck off. Why? Because your energy challenges them. It puts them in the position to evolve. It puts them into the position to see what is holding them back. The things that we hate, the things that we suppress, the things that we go into denial of, the projections that we put upon ourselves, unconscious, and then gets projected with the gnashing of teeth. Got to put a muzzle on that fucking shit and see it for what it is. And then coming at things, entering through the gates of wisdom, proper knowledge. We're going to be able to navigate even better the waves of frequencies that go to amplify things like implants, like I was saying, or whatever issues are there that with great compassion we address. Why? Because we do give a fuck. What I don't give a fuck about is all the other bullshit and the glorification of what they're doing. What the fuck are we doing? We have more to extract from within the core essence of who we are. And by recognizing that and honing to that, that's where it's going to be authentic. That's where the laughter will be authentic. That's where the joy will be authentic. That's where the feasting will be authentic. And it won't be a table of bitterness and strife, because everyone's stuffing it down. Having a sense of family and tribe. Again, communication is necessary. I don't know what it was like for you growing up, but my family communicated. And there was connection, despite all the bullshit and issues and problems. Things were worked through, things were overcome, things were made good. But to the test of the procession, we're coming into the age of Aquarius, which is what? Mastery of communication, networking, groups, teams, friendships, authentic, and then even deeper, authentic partnerships where helpmates know the difference and have each other's backs for real. To that, I'm going to plug the Mystery School as well. If anyone is interested in services and wants to be initiated to lay the proper foundation in terms of expansion so that you can navigate correctly. There's so many things that are touched upon in terms of that. Also other services on the website. And I want to make a note, I have my counsel, I have my accountability, and I have my mentors as well. This isn't some arbitrary thing that I'm just doing without accountability. And this is how it works. This is how it expands. So to that, if anyone is interested, check out the services page on the website at blackearthproductions with a Z.com. Send me an email at blackearthproductions, again with an S at the end, at hotmail.com. There's a lot more in the pot that's going to be served in the coming weeks and months in terms of the procession and where I know within my core it's going to happen, it's going to manifest. I think we touched upon some very important things.
Fuck yeah, man. All right, thank you.
All right, James, keep kicking ass, dude, and we'll talk again soon.
Later.
Later, man. Everyone, we have to let go of this old paradigm, and we have to let go of those things that do not serve connection, that do not serve a lot of what was addressed in terms of the specific segments. If anybody wants to reach out and go deeper and decide that we're not going to allow the darkness to take us, by all means get a hold of me, as long as it depends on you, on your end. Again, this is our lives. It's to focus on the color and the beauty and the strength that is there within all of us, that is there within you who is hearing my voice right now. This is Seth Gizboza, Black Earth Productions. Again, be empowered, be encouraged.